What's going on, guys? My name's Spence,
And I'm Mitch.
and we're two brothers that really love King of the Hill. And today we are jumping right into the first episode of season 3. Usually between seasons, we like to do something different, like a theory episode, but we're going to do that next week. We'll tease that at the end. But right now, we didn't want to leave you hanging, and we're going right on to the second part of the propane boom.
And on a side note, season 3 is possibly the best season. So many classics.
Yeah, it's really good. The start we can see in the background, we can see the cloud of smoke billowing over Arlen.
That would be a sight to see.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no, I've never seen anything that bad. But yeah, I never had a big explosion like that.
No, just forest fires for me.
Yeah, we have Connie and Bobby just talking about their future, and we get another classic Dooley line.
Your dad got blown up.
Oh, man. Poor Peggy.
Yeah, man.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, how terrified he would be. But they don't leave us hanging too long, and they reveal pretty quickly that Hank is A-okay, and he made it out, thankfully. In fact, there only ends up being one casualty, it seems like, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, for an explosion that size. But it's a casualty that none of us can live without.
That's true, yeah. They will be devastated for the rest of the series. Yeah, this episode, it's almost as good as the first one, really. It really holds up, I think, and it's got a lot of super fascinating themes about death and life and near-death experiences. Luanne suffers a catastrophic casualty here where the explosion burns off her hair entirely.
They kept her hair growth so inconsistent in the following episodes.
It keeps, sometimes it's like longer or shorter or whatever.
Randomly it's short in like the 15th episode.
They probably had a different airing order. Sometimes it doesn't air in the order, right, that they create them. But yeah, it's super inconsistent. And I like this quote here really quickly where they take him to the hospital, right, and make sure everything's okay. And Peggy is getting Bobby ready to see Luanne. She says, like,
"Oh, careful, everyone. Now, Luanne is going to look different, maybe even hypnotically grotesque, but do not stare."
That's one of my favorite lines. There's the Hank quote. Either buildings blow up. It's what they do.
This is more devastating to her, the loss of her hair, than the loss of Buckley, it seems like.
She just broke up with Buckley, too.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, she put a lot of value in her hair and her beauty.
Her beauty fades.
Yeah, and you can see that it's not handling it particularly well. Like, she's changed a lot because of this near-death experience, where Hank, on the other hand, seems to have not changed at all. And he doesn't want to talk about it all with his friends. He just keeps insisting that he's fine and there's no issues and everything's okay.
And he's just bottling it up.
Yeah. And I really like the Dale, of course, with the conspiracy theories about how that's what they want you to think. Just a generic explosion. But yeah, I really love the contrast between those two characters and how they're dealing with a near-death experience. Yeah, Strickland here hiring Hank back, saying, "Thanks for blowing up the Mega Lo Mart for me."
Nitro.
Yeah. And we also get this really weird thing that Hank's doing where he's pouring out his beer into a cup. He's never done that before.
I get that. Doing weird little things weird when you're all out of sorts.
The feeling that Luanne has from this whole experience is very external, and we see that visualized in the loss of her hair. Where Hank, it's all internal, right? He's not showing any changes or anything. Everything is subtle in terms of his mannerisms, and he doesn't want to go back to work because he's busy decrumbing the toaster. Yeah, Luanne is just traumatized by her experience, and that she wants to now show the world all the bad things about it. She wants to become a photojournalist, an activist. And unfortunately for, her subjects, she has no idea what she's doing. She takes pictures of the news on the TV to show off all the hungry children in the world.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That is one of the best Dales ever. Or we are they.
And now we're seeing Hank's fear really manifest here when he's thinking about grilling some steaks. And it used to be a very typical task for him, something he enjoyed greatly. And he just can't bring himself to do it now.
All he sees is the dangers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like when you have a really bad reaction to some sort of food, right? You get food poisoning, and you can see Hank sweating bullets. The sweat pouring through his clothes. But yeah, you get food poisoning from some sort of food, and then you can't eat it forever. Exactly what's happening to him with propane. Just imagining it explode, even though everything is fine.
They're gone.
And of course, Dale is trying to figure out what the hell happened. Wonder if it's Buckley, I think is what he says, fallen from the sky.
Hobbits of mead. I never learned how to do that with the saran wrap.
Me neither. I hate saran wrap. It's my one weakness. I can't ever get it right.
It's tricky stuff, that's for sure.
Here we are preparing for Buckley's funeral. And this is another great scene where we get to see, of course, Luanne is refusing to dress up. She's got this whole weird get-up going on.
Yeah, the t-shirt and the sundress.
Her beauty school gives her a wig, although unfortunately for her, it's a hideous wig. It looks like they just mashed it together with a bunch of people's hair.
Yeah, all the people's hair they cut and threw it all into
Yeah.
a wig.
It's like more of a middle finger than anything. Bobby puts it on.
They snapped it off. This funeral is great.
Yeah, this is another great scene here where this is disgusting, where he's going to go see if Buckley's really in there. And of course, he opens the casket up and throws up inside the casket. Strickland here asking when Hank's going to come back. And once again, thanking him for blowing up the Mega Lo Mart. Wearing a wire for an unrelated matter. No, of course. He lies straight to Strickland saying that he's grieving because he loved Buckley like a son. And Hank can't believe that pile of shit that he just told. Chuck Mangione's at the funeral for some reason.
Yeah, he makes a lot of appearances this season.
Yeah, I don't know why he's there, but I guess. Yeah,
He lived in the
with
Mega Lo Mart.
Yeah, that's a good episode. That's one of my favorite episodes. Yeah, the funeral pours. Bobby and Connie.
No one's there for anything for Buckley.
And then Luanne has this weird activist moment here. She puts up a picture of Bobby. Says that he's a starving child in Ireland. Says they got to fight the occupation of assuming North Ireland, even though it's like right now nothing's going on there. Everything's totally okay.
No, they're prospering like crazy.
Yeah, I don't think there are many Irish people right now. Con decides that he is going to come up and say a few words and talks about how he loved Buckley like a son because he pissed off Hank so much.
It's just so unexpected and so out of left field.
Yeah, I know. You don't expect him to be the one to come and actually say a few words. But I really like what Con does here is he tells a story, which is actually, and you can tell that Mike Judge did some research on Buddhism or is knowledgeable about Buddhism because in Buddhism, there's these little stories. They're called koans, and they're supposed to help you reach enlightenment. And the story that Khan tells here is a real Buddhist koan. It's a real story, and everybody thinks it's a joke.
This guy, poor guy, got himself in quite the predicament with 2 hungry tigers. Holy moly.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, the story where he's being chased by a hungry tiger, and he falls, and then is holding onto a branch, and there's another hungry tiger beneath him. And then he eats the strawberry that he sees hanging in front of him, and it was the most delicious strawberry that he's ever eaten in his life. And I think the message is clear from the story, but not a lot of people seem to get it.
Enjoy the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like this guy had the nerve to tell a joke at a funeral.
Phil chuckled.
Yeah, Phil laughs. Poor Hank can't even light the pilot light for the hot water heater and tackles Peggy.
For a guy like Hank to have Peggy light the water heater, it's not something that you do.
Yeah, it's pretty demasculating for him.
Yeah.
Peggy finally figures out that he's afraid of propane because of the explosion. And he has to go to a support group about it.
Here's Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck's here again. He's at the support group for some reason. He's still in his funeral clothes too. Hank, of course, doesn't want to open up about anything. And then,
No.
and it's really weird that he denies his fear of death. And he's like, why would anybody fear death? I think it's a pretty common fear among just about all human beings.
It was another really good job that they did with body language because you can tell by Hank's body that he's apprehensive. He's trying to display confidence at the same time. Very nuanced.
Definitely, yeah. He's trying to display a stoic exterior, and he's starting to sweat. He can hear the hissing. He thinks it's an explosion, and it's just Chuck Mangione emptying the spit valve. But who the hell does that in public?
The spit valve on the floor.
Yeah, what an asshole. Who the hell does something like that?
Oh, fuck.
And how Peggy gets over grief and gets over her fear of death is apparently she takes clippings of horrific accidents from the newspaper and puts them all in a binder, which is, I think, a very weird thing to do.
It added the Leonard Skinner plane crash.
Yeah. And yeah, here we get probably, I would say it's my all-time favorite Boomhauer moment here where Hank's sharing if they all ever thought about death. And Boomhauer details his entire life's philosophy.
They did such a good job with it too.
I know. I think it's actually really insightful if you actually listen to what he's saying. It's super interesting about how we're all just here for the moment. We're all dust in the wind. And basically, we have to make whatever impression that we can.
And Hank brushes it aside.
The deal. Bill gets Peggy when Hank dies, and Dale will take care of Bobby. They shake on it. But yeah, this is probably, I think, maybe the longest Boomhauer ever talks in the entire series. It's the longest monologue he ever has.
Yeah, it's gotta be hard to do a long Boomhauer monologue. Probably took a few tries.
Yeah, I bet. They're all just staring at him blankly.
It takes a break and comes back to it too. That's the best. He's thinking so hard.
Yeah. I actually found there's like a remix. It was like someone took it and made like a song out of this. It was like, I saw this on YouTube years ago. It's actually really good. Maybe I'll post the link to that if I can find it.
You don't need to know, man. It's like you're born into this world, man. And you got it's like this, man, with dust in the wind, man. Or like the dang old candle in the wind, man. It don't matter, man. It's all the oldies, old time. You know what I think, man? Like them dang old, I think, therefore you are, man.
Well, that's what we tell ourselves, isn't it, Boomhauer?
Yeah, they not stopped doing songs like that.
Yeah, that's a shame. Now they just have AI make all the songs, and it's not as good.
Yeah.
Hank trying to start the barbecue, 10-foot pole.
A pole like that long would have way more flex in it.
Yeah, but Bobby's gone and run off, and yeah, he gets Lady Bird to smell a fruit pie. Find him. My dog would just eat the fruit pie.
Same. I had her try to play fetch with it.
Now, Khan confronts Luanne where he says he cried a river of tears for Buckley. And why don't you cry a single tear?
I cried river of tears.
And yeah, she finally confronts her own grief here that she's been bottling up with a really sweet birthday card from Buckley where he says he was going to give her some money, but he's all tapped out. So here's some CDs I don't listen to anymore. And that is the moment, apparently, that moves her to tears.
Yeah, so usually something that really reminds you of the person.
Definitely.
Something very unique to them that really sets you off.
Yeah, she talks to the manger babies who give her a little bit of a pep talk and tell her it's all going to be okay. She puts on the disgusting wig and is like, maybe this isn't for me.
All different colors, texture me.
I can't imagine it's very comfortable.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah, they find Bobby. He's just hanging out on his own. And I like this little quip from Hank where, yeah, when Bobby asks, how did you find me? And he says, had Ladybird smell one of your fruit pies, and then she just took me around the block a couple times, and someone phoned me and told me you were here.
She just wanted to go for a walk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's some senile old lady there, too.
I always felt like there was a deeper meaning, like it was an inside joke or something to that.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably right. Yeah, there's probably some sort of inside joke going on there. And yeah, Bobby's all freaked out when he heard his father talking about Diane and talking about death, and you can understand that from a kid's perspective for sure.
Yeah. And then you mature and start worrying about your own death.
Yeah. So, yeah, Hank's trying to reassure him that everything's going to be okay and he doesn't need to worry about that stuff right now.
Right, but the whole point of the Buddhist story.
Yeah, exactly. And he retells the Buddhist story, except some changes to football related.
Detroit Lions.
Yeah, there's a couple of Detroit Lions chasing. Who's the guy he says? Roger Staubach?
Roger Staubach, yeah.
Roger Staubach. And, he was being chased by 2 Detroit Lions and he had a cup of strawberry Gatorade. And it was the sweetest Gatorade that he ever tasted.
Then, out of the corner of his eye, he saw a strawberry cup of Gatorade. Well, Roger took a drink of that Gatorade, but I tell you something, son, it was the sweetest sip of Gatorade Roger ever tasted.
Jesus.
And Bobby's like, yeah, you told the joke okay, Dad. You did okay.
I love when everyone thinks it's a joke.
I don't know where he comes up with that kind of stuff sometimes. It's like, I'm going to throw this like Buddhist story into this episode and everybody's going to think it's a joke.
It's got to be inspired by life somehow.
Definitely. Bobby tries to tell his own joke about the Eskimos trying to turn in their dog sled or something to the dealership and he can't quite get it out.
Yeah, Bobby's supposed to have really good timing and delivery though.
Yeah, he can't win them all, eh?
No, you can't.
And this is another great little exit where he's back at Strickland Propane and everybody's busting his balls, saying, don't blow up Strickland Propane. And we actually see Maria. I didn't know she actually, I think it might be the last time we see her, that she actually got hired. At the end
No,
of the
she's a
day.
background character moving forward.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Yeah. I don't think she's by anything, but you see her at Strickland.
Oh, okay. Joe Jack come out saying my arm's blown off. They all say, oh, seriously, thank you for blowing up the Mega Lo Mart. Wow. Absolute great conclusion to the cliffhanger. It would have sucked to have to wait a whole year to see that. They really nailed it, I think. What do you think, Mitch?
8.5.
8.5? Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.
A 9.0?
Yeah, 9.0. Not quite as good as the first part, but a really solid follow-up and an incredible way to start season 3. And you can already see that they're going to make a couple changes with the characters and whatnot going forward. And it's really awesome.
They had to have set some kind of record for a cartoon tackling a topic like death.
Yeah, and that's such a great thing about King of the Hills. They always do a great job tackling these incredibly heavy and sensitive subjects. And death is probably one of the most heavy subjects out there.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
to turn it into such a great comedy with also so many, I think, philosophical layers, it really shows how this show is in many ways a timeless classic.
Ain't that the truth?
So we'll wrap this episode up, and we'll be back next week. We actually have a theory episode next week, and we'll unveil it to you guys. The theory that we're going to tackle is if Boomhauer is actually a government plant to surveil Dale, if that's what his true job with, because at the end of the series, spoiler alert, they show that his job is a Texas Ranger, but we never see him do any, like, Texas Ranger type activities, any kind of law
Put on a
enforcement.
uniform.
Never even puts on a uniform. So there's a theory in the King of the Hill community that he was actually put there to surveil Dale and make sure that he doesn't do anything that would actually disrupt the government, doesn't have any kind of crazy like Unabomber plans in the works or anything.
And I have some theories or some strong opinions on this one, and I cannot wait to share them with you guys.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be exciting. Until then, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Right on. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Man, I tell you what, Hank, about that dang old meaning of life, man, it's like this, man. You like a butterfly flapping his wings, they're gonna cause a tree fall, There ain't nobody see it, nobody don't even have it. Nobody see it, nobody don't The baby's born into this world, they don't got their friends. Find out all about them old people, It's like you're born into this world, man. It's like dust in the wind. You don't need no man, don't need no man. It's like you're born into this world, man. It's like dust in the wind. You don't need no man, don't need no man.
Well, that's what we tell ourselves, isn't it, Boomhauer?
You're like a dang old candle in the wind. It don't matter, man, it don't matter, man. Now I think, therefore you are, man. Now I think, therefore you are, man. You like a butterfly flapping his wings. They're gonna cause a tree fall, There ain't nobody see it, nobody don't even have it. Nobody see it, nobody don't. It's like you're born into this world, man. It's like dust in the wind. You don't need no man, don't need no man. It's like you're born into this world, man. It's like dust in the wind. You don't need no man, don't need no